Why is the Honda Jet so popular? Hello and welcome back to the Luxury Kingdom. Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. When you have Honda's biggest rival Toyota fly their executives inside the Honda Jet Elite, then you know the jets are seriously good. That's probably why Honda has managed to sell over 170 units worldwide since they started in 2003. But enough talking, here is the Honda Jet, the best-selling business jet. Let's dive right into it, shall we? So why is the Honda Jet so popular? Honestly, these guys have killed it in the past few years. Even during the pandemic, they still managed to make and sell about 30 units, which is absolutely insane. Now they say that the jet has been considered the highest selling jet as a small business aircraft, and this is nothing new. It's been going on for the past 4 years now. Seeing the new trend, Marubeni corporations decided they would capitalize on the opportunity. They bought several Honda jets and they offered charter services for some of the richer individuals in the country, and with a price tag of $4,700 per hour, we'd say it's pretty affordable. Another reason that passengers have been buying the Honda jets like crazy is because they are so well built. In fact, because of the great performance on some modest fuel consumptions and a cabin that can accommodate up to 7 people in a rather luxurious fashion, the Honda Jet is slowly becoming a market favorite. If we get down to the details, we'll see that the Honda Jet can be operated by either a single pilot or a tandem. The total length of the aircraft is measured at 42 feet 7 inches, while the wingspan is somewhere around 39 feet 9 inches. That's pretty decent if you ask us, and when speaking of heights, this aircraft is only 14 feet 11 inches tall. The max takeoff weight of the aircraft is about 10,700 pounds and is partly allowed by the two GE Honda HF120 turbofan engines, which keep this plane flying as smooth as possible. Now, since we talk about a modest fuel consumption, we should mention if you were to fly at 420 knots, which is the cruise speed of the Honda Jet, then you're looking at the fuel consumptions of about 1,000 pounds per hour. If you take that speed down just 60 knots to 360 knots, then the fuel consumptions goes down to about half of the first number, or just 542 pounds per hour. See why we said that the jet has modest fuel consumption? If you want to know how far you can go with this jet, then you should know that any destinations that's 1,650 miles away can be reached without the need to refuel. Plus, you'll soar above the skies because the Honda Jet has a surface ceiling of 43,000 feet. And one of the interesting things you might have noticed on the outside is that the engines are not mounted under the wings. They are not even mounted on top of the wings. They are in fact elevated above the wings on the platform. This is a peculiar design feature that the creator of this aircraft wanted to have because it offered a lot more room inside the cabin, and the noise was brought down because the engines were detached from the plane's body. And speaking of design, why is the Honda Jet a unique piece of art? Before we get into this, remember to smash that like button so you can keep getting awesome videos like these for free. Now, before we tell you what the inside can look like, we should also mention that those big wingtips you see on the outside aren't just for show, because they are so big the plane gets an improved lift for a relatively small wing area, and this only further improves the efficiency of the Honda Jet. Now, if you don't look at the wings and the engines, and you take a moment to notice the entire plane, you'll see that it's a low-wing monoplane because the jet has a relatively low weight. It's part of the very light jet category. Now, let's get back to those engines we talked about over the wing engine mounts are really unpopular with plane designers. Why? It's simple. Back in 1970s, the Germans constructed the VFW Fokker 614. This was a plane that was the first plane that had the engine suspended above the wings. Why didn't it catch on? First of all, the airplane was a commercial failure. Second, this new engine configurations interfered between the wing and the engine, and the speed suffered. That is why it remained buried in aircraft history. Designers scoffed at it, but the Honda Jet designer saw an opportunity. You see, he knew about all the issues that the engines was facing, and he knew that the placements of the engines was wrong. After a lot of testing, he found the optimal engine placement that would not only not slow the plane down, but it would provide less wave drag compared to the standard models. That's why the engines are now placed at 75% of the wing chord, which superimposes the airflow over the wing, with the one around the engine. Before we move on, we should mention that the engine placements, the aerodynamics of the fuselage, and the lightweight materials that are used to make this jet all contribute of getting a 20% better fuel efficiency, and that's pretty much covers the outside of the plane. When we open the door and we jump inside, a whole new world opens up. You have a cabin that is 17.8 feet long and 5 feet wide. The only thing that they would have improved on is the height. The cabin is only 4.8 feet from floor to ceiling. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss any amazing video from us.